wonderful, wonderful. It's a moment. Wonderful. How are you, everybody who is watching this fantastic video? I'm very happy to have you, whether you're a national or international viewer. You're warmly welcome to enjoy the beauty of online training. My name is Olenjolai Mwakotayelo Single. I thank God by His own chiefty of teaching, and I thank God by His own chiefty in me of engineering, because I'm electronics and telecommunication engineering. But I thank God by His own grace also because I'm a computer scientist or a computer programmer. I love so much those aspects. That's what God has put in me. It's just like flying, that flying functioning of the birds, because birds actually that are flying, and then it's just like a fish swimming in water. That's my responsibility in teaching. So I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you into our comfortable and actual interesting institution of learning the beauty of higher engineering mathematics, and this is online undergraduate. So welcome to online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Okay. So welcome to online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you simultaneously into one of our official YouTube channels that's called online undergrad. Okay. Online under. So this is called the online undergrad Poly Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. So simply the name of our online institutions is called Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. And the name of our official YouTube channel specifically for undergraduate students in engineering courses and science courses is called the Online Undergrad Poly Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. So what the vision that we have in this online institution? One, so I have an assignment which have been given by COD, the sponsor of this program, of teaching and training some undergraduate students who will be ready to extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the classroom instructions in higher engineering mathematics, in higher scientific mathematics, in order to combine with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that we are going to teach them to extract from the Word of God written in the Holy Bible in order to solve real-life problems. So the main objective of Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is to teach our students to think it differently and to think on how they can take the classroom instructions and think outside the box or outside of the class on how they can solve the real-life problems, because that's the objective of education. I'm a Tanzanian and I'm doing these programs in Tanzania, and I would like to welcome all the national and international students, because higher engineering mathematics and higher scientific mathematics is actually, this is the universal subject, because mathematics is the queen of engineering. So that's the vision that we have. So the main objective in online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania is to teach our students to think differently and teach our students to solve real life problems. Not only just to have certificates or to pass. However, that will be focusing to help to reduce stresses and confusions and solve our undergraduate engineering and scientific common problems of fear and even stress that caused by different modules or courses in engineering mathematics or scientific mathematics. So we'll be having a kind of broad scope, or because we would like to help millions of undergraduate students of the present and future generation. So that's the case that you have to understand. So before we go into too much details, whenever you join any institution, whether physical institutions or online institutions, for the first week you have to do the registration. The good thing that in OPITO, or we call it Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania square bracket OLENJOLAIM, you have to do registrations only once, and it is lifetime registration. So the following are the few steps that you have to follow for you to quickly access quickly access our contents and systematically learn. So These are the restrictions. So the first step, create or open a new email. That's the first step that you have to understand, or you have to make sure that you follow. In the second step, you have to sign in YouTube by email. Okay? Sign in YouTube by your email. So you can create a Yahoo email or a Gmail. In case you have an email, whether Yahoo or a Gmail, it's enough. Only one email is enough. So in case you have an email, you can skip the first step. But if you don't have any, then you have to make sure that you create any email. Then you have to sign in by using your email that you have created, because you cannot sign in YouTube or in any a computer system, okay, just a computer platform, without using your email. Then the third step, we ask you to search Opito. Don't write Opito, just search online undergrad for the Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Then you are already in our online training institutions, and you'll find the software button like this. And then you'll see the national flag of Tanzania. This is our national flag. I love so much my country. And then you'll see the name of the channel, which is called Online Undergrad POLYINSTIT of Tanzania. Undergrad is abbreviations of undergraduate. POLYINSTIT is the abbreviations of the word Polytechnic Institute. Okay, so then, so just to quickly remind you that the following are the steps of registrations in Opito. So the first step, in case you don't have an email, create or open a new email. If you have an email, then skip the first step. After you've created the email, the second step, we ask you to sign in YouTube by using your created email. Okay? Then the third step, we ask you to search what? Opito. So don't write Opito because it's not there. This is abbreviation. Opito, it's abbreviations of the word Online Undergrad POLYINSTIT of Tanzania, square bracket OLENJOLAM. And then afterward, after you search, you see the icons of this form, and then so you see the national flag there. Okay, national flag. Once you see the national flag, you see the name of the channel, the number of subscribers. Then you see here home, video, or the playlist, community, channel, and then the word about. So we ask you again, before you come into this part of which is the toolbar, the toolbar, then we ask you to click at the right hand side of the right hand side of this video, you see the software button which is written subscribe. So click this by using your mouse, and then the text will change into subscribing. And once you do that, the icon of the bell will appear. Click this icon once, and then you see the option, choose the options of all. Then after that, you get a notification that you subscribe and will receive all the notifications. What the advantage of you to subscribe? The advantage is we have a vision of recording more than 500 videos, and will be make them available at any time and anywhere through our YouTube platform. So the aim for you to subscribe is to get notifications once we have a new content. Then the fifth step, we ask you that in order for you to access the collections in a systematic way, in order to access our content systematically, we ask you to click this 30 text in the toolbar that's called playlist. And then when you click it, you then find the playlist which is written Gamma and Beta function. There you'll find the collections of all the lectures relating to Gamma and Beta function. So you have to make sure that then also we have another playlist which is called Advanced Calculus, where you'll find all the lectures of Advanced Calculus from the first topic, which is Gamma and Beta function, to the last topic. So those are the few steps that you have to follow. Again, we know that we believe that you are going to enjoy our content, so you can like, and also you can click the icon of share that you see at the bottom, at the right hand side, at the bottom of this video. And then you can share the link of this video through Facebook with your friends, with other students through Facebook, through WhatsApp, through Twitter, through Telegram, through Instagram, through your email, through TikTok, through any social platform, as well as your mouth. So that's the thing that we ask you to do. I will give you some other announcement later on as we continue this session. So we have more than one department in this institution. One of the departments is called the Higher Engineering and Scientific Mathematics, and the module of the day is called Advanced Calculus. at the year of study, this content or this modules is being studied, is being covered, or is being taught in first or second semester, especially second semester, okay, to the first year of BEng students, okay, bachelor in science or bachelor in engineering. So that is B, okay, bachelor in engineering and bachelor in science, NTA level 7 in case of the NATE. Okay, or actually this module is taught in the second semester of the first year in most institutions or most colleges or most engineering universities. So we are focusing on the first chapter, which is called gamma and beta function, and this is lecture 2, which is called the gamma function. That's what we are going to teach you. So before we start today's lecture, let me do a quick review of what we taught you in lecture 1. What we taught you in lecture 1. So in lecture 1, first of all, in lecture 0, we taught you about the higher educational authorities in Tanzania, if you do remember. So we say that we have 3 higher educational authorities in Tanzania. We say that we have VETA, we say also we have NATE, and we say also we have TCU. This is the big picture, we have TCU. So advanced curriculums we are teaching under the perspectives of competence-based under the NATE, right? And here we have so many NTA level. So in this at the place of advanced curriculums, we are focusing NTA level 7, where we find advanced curriculums. Okay. So in lecture 1, we taught you about the concept we call proper interval. Okay, proper interval. Okay, proper intervals. Okay, proper intervals. But before proper intervals, we mentioned contents of gamma function. Gamma and beta function. What are we going to cover? Gamma and beta function. When we talked about proper intervals, we say that this is defined intervals, but we have intervals which are defined from the lower interval, which is called the lower limit, which is A to B, and then this is our integrand. We integrate with respect to X effect term. So that is all about proper intervals. So then we talked about improper intervals. We say that with these improper intervals, we find that we integrate a function from maybe a known integral infinite of f of x, okay, f of x, or we can also, so this is a derivative function, or we can integrate a function from negative infinity to a point, f of x dash dx, or integrate a function from negative infinity to positive infinity, then we have f of x dx. If you do remember that, we said you have 3 kinds. You have kind 1, first kind of what? Of improper interval, and this gives us what? Gamma function that we are going to focus today. This gives us gamma function. And then we have again what is second kind. So second kind of what? Improper interval, and this will give us what? Beta function. Beta function. Then you have third kind of what? Of improper interval, and this will give us what? So this will give us, we didn't discuss about this one, this kind of combinations of, so this will give us gamma and beta function, which will cover it in advanced engineering and scientific mathematics. So that's what we've discussed. We've told you. In case you missed it, you can access lecture 1 in our official YouTube channel that called online and at POLYINSTIT of Tanzania square bracket OLENJOLAIM. If you have any question about that lecture, just go to the comment section and ask. I ask you to interact with me. Remember that OLENJOLAIM does not know everything about the advanced calculus. I'm always learning advanced calculus because I love so much engineering mathematics and scientific mathematics. So that's the point that you have to make sure that you take into the consideration. Okay. So here we are. So let us go into the today's session. So today's lecture is focusing on gamma function. Stay with me. Gamma function. The fundamental question, which is question 1, which you have to ask yourself, what is gamma function? What is gamma function? What is gamma function? That's the question that we have. What is gamma function? Pause the video and ask yourself and try to write the answer in it. Have paper, then you come into this response. Gamma function, so you say that in mathematics, because it depends in which context. So in mathematics, gamma function is commonly used extension of the factorial function of factorial function to complex number. Of factorial function, complex numbers. That the definitions of what of gamma function. So gamma function is extension of what? Of factorial function, complex numbers. So it's extension. So what is gamma function? It's extension from what? Factorial function, which we taught you in NTA level 5, or which is because the factorial function, if you do remember that it's, for example, n factorial or x factorial, it depends to which letter that you're interested in. But because we are dealing with positive integers, so we focus on n factorial. So we extend the factorial function to what? Complex numbers. So remember, complex number is expressed usually in this form, a plus b I. So this is a real part and this is the imaginary part. So it's extension from factorial function to complex number. That's the meaning of what? That's the meaning of gamma function. So we'll see how we're going to use the factorial function. However, that according to them, when we'll be focusing on competence-based, we won't see that how we extend this factorial function to complex number, but we'll be dealing with factorial function in most cases of gamma and beta function. So you have to expect that. Okay? So you say that it is defined so the gamma function is defined for all complex number, for all complex numbers. So defined all complex numbers except all complex number excepting the non-positive integer. The non-positive integers. So it is defined for all complex numbers except the non-positive integers. except the non-positive integers. So I say for positive integers, we say that gamma of n is equal to n minus 1 factorial. N minus 1 factorial, and it is this formula is derived by Daniel Deneuve. Okay. So I say that in mathematics, gamma functions commonly use the extensions of factorial function to complex numbers. And this is defined for all complex numbers except the non-positive integers. It means the negative integers. So it's not defined for negative integers. But for the positive integers, the gamma of n, or the gamma of the positive integer, is equal to n minus 1 factorial. And this formula is derived by the great mathematicians who is called Daniel Deneuve. Remember, if you are international student, you are a non-Tanzanian student, and especially that you are undergraduate students, stay tuned, because what I'm going to teach you is what you'll be covering in your institutions or college or university, because mathematics is universal, and we engineers, we call mathematics as the queen of engineering. So that is a literal definitions of of gamma function. Okay. So again, another point that you have to note is gamma function Okay, so gamma function is a special function of improper intervals. So I told you in improper interval lecture 1. So gamma function is one of the special functions of improper intervals. So before I claim these 6 steps of your permanent registrations in Orbital, okay, or we call it online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket Olenjolai. Please list this. Okay, take this list take this list. Pause the video and take this list because I want to use this list. Thank you very much for your cooperation. I believe that you are done. You can follow these steps in order to reduce time of roaming around. Okay, so the mathematical means that the general formula of gamma function is given as gamma of n is equal to integral from 0 to infinity of what? Of e power negative x and then x power n minus 1 dx. So this is the general formula. That is the general formula. So gamma of n gamma of n is equal to integral from 0 to infinity e power negative x, x power n minus 1 dot dx. Or in some of the books, we say that gamma of x, this is equal to integral from 0 to infinity, then you have e power negative t, then you have t power n minus 1 t. So the general formula of gamma function is that. So those are the two general formulas, and I'd like to ask you, my dear student, you have to remember this general formula or this special function of improper integral from this moment until the end of the topic of gamma and beta function. So gamma function is determined or defined in the form of intervals. So the gamma function is determined or defined in the form of intervals. In the form of intervals. Okay? In the form of intervals. Form of 40 of intervals. So, after discussing with you about general formula or the general definitions of gamma function, I would like to take this opportunity to teach you about properties of gamma function. Properties of gamma function. Properties of gamma function. Properties of gamma function. So you say that there are three basic properties of gamma function that are used in numerical computation of gamma function. These are, the first property is gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n factorial. The second property is gamma of n this is the second, okay? So let me, I think that first property we say that gamma of n plus 1, this is not t, it is gamma, it's the symbol for the gamma. And dear students, this is the symbol for gamma, it's not t, right? So don't write t. So just it's a half t, but this is a Greek letter which means gamma, because Greek, it means that in Greek alphabets there is gamma alphabet, or gamma letter, and also there is beta alphabet. So gamma of n plus 1, this is equal to n times gamma of n. Okay? So gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n times gamma of n. That's the first property, basic property of gamma. The second basic property is gamma of n plus 1, this is equal to n factorial. And the third property is, we say that gamma of n times gamma of 1 minus n or n minus 1. So we mentioned 1 minus n. 1 gamma of 1 minus n is equal to pi over sine of n pi. So these are three basic properties of gamma. Of gamma function. So we have three basic properties of gamma function. And each of that property is a question. It's a question. So you have gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n gamma of n. Then you have gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n factorial. Then you have gamma of n times gamma of 1 minus n is equal to pi over sine of n pi. So let me start with example 1. So example 1, this is one of the questions that has been offered. So refer DOT final exam of 2014. First grade 5A or 3A. Question 5A. So the question asks you that, show that gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n times gamma of n. If you succeed to show that expression, you will be rewarded 4 marks. So show that gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n times gamma of n. Okay? Solution. So it's the best property of gamma function, but also it can be asked to prove because you just need to use the normal integral concept. So we follow a number of steps to prove that. So the first step is this, that we call the mathematical definition of gamma function. Okay, so from this formula, we say gamma of n is equal to integral from 0 to infinity e power negative x, then x n minus 1 dx. So what are we looking for? Gamma of n plus 1. So this will be integral from 0 to infinity. Then e power negative x, don't have any change. But we have x, the new value of n now, it's n plus 1, right? So it will be n plus 1 minus 1, right? So you write it dx. So we say that the gamma of n plus 1 is equal to what? Integral from 0 to infinity e power negative x, then you have x power n plus 1 minus 1, right? You write dx. So this is equal to integral from 0 to infinity e power negative x, then x power n dx. So you say that gamma of what? Gamma of n plus 1 is equal to integral from 0 to infinity, then e power negative x, then x power n dx. Okay. So that's the first formula. Right. So I believe you're enjoying the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics. So gamma of n plus 1, this is equal to integral from 0 to infinity. Then we have x power n e power negative x dx. So we go for the second stage. So second stage, so this is equation 1. I have just rearranged this e power negative x and x power n. So the second stage, we say that integrate equation 1 by using integration integration by parts. Integration by parts. So we have two different formulas of integration by part. So you have that the first one we call it the formula of integration. So you have to remember what we taught you in NTA level 4 in the module called differentiation and integration. We taught you how you can integrate intervals or functions by using integration by parts. So formula of integration by parts. So we have two forms. So you say that you can integrate from A to B. Then you say that or you say that you can have u of x and v dash of x. Then v dash of x, then the x, this is equal to u of x, v of x from A to B. Then the minus is from A to B. Then you have what? V of x dx. Is it? Okay. U of x and times what? V of x and times u dash of x dx. At the formal definitions of what integration by part. But we have also informal, which many students they prefer, and it's simple for many students. The formula of integration by parts. Integration by parts. So the general form we say that we have integral from from A to B. Then usually used to say that u dv is equal to uv, and then from A to B, and minus integral from A to B, then you have what? You have v u. So this is the informal formula or informal definitions of integration by parts. So you can either use this and this one. For lovers of mathematics, we use this formula. But because we like to also help slow learners, intermediate learners of mathematics, and those who possibly, because of that teaching, they hate mathematics, we may use this one for the moment in order for you to know how you have to maneuver when you are dealing with integration by parts. Okay, so if you join right now, you're welcome to enjoy the gift of higher engineering mathematics and scientific mathematics, and the module or the course is called Advanced Calculus, and I'm teaching about vector and gamma function. This is concept that covered in every undergraduate engineering and scientific institutions or college or university worldwide, whether in Africa or in Asia or in America. So you have to enjoy these contents and concentrate on it. So we say that. So from that focus, we say that, okay, so we mean that we prefer, let us take considerations of your understanding, that we say integral from A to B, then we have u dv, this is equal to uv, A to B, minus integral from AB, then u, or we say that v du. So this is, suppose it is the second equation, right? Second equation. So we go for the third step. So third step, we say that compare left hand side of equation 1 and 2. Equation 1 and right hand side, and then right hand side of left hand side of equation 2 and right hand side of equation 1. So what does it mean? So let us compare interval from A to B of u dv with integral from 0 to infinity then x power n e power negative x dx. So if we do compare, you'll find that u is equivalent to x, we have to let that, then the v is equivalent to this correction. Equivalent to this correction. So we say that let u is equal to x power n, and then let the v is equal to e power negative x dx. So then we say that find the u dx. So this is n x n minus 1. Then find the v. The v e power negative x dx. So integrate. So if you integrate, v is equal to what? Negative e power negative x. So you can find that the u is equal to n x power n minus 1 dx. So what do we need in order to consider right hand side of equation 2? We need this, but this is for the purpose. Don't round when you are solving these problems. We're just rounding for the purpose of learning. Okay? So let me repeat, because possibly that I did everything quickly. Okay, this is our problem, the problem that you have, which is question 1, which is term of n plus 1 is equal to integral from 0 to infinity. Then you have x equal to xn, x to n, e power negative x dx. Then we compare the right hand side of equation 1 and left hand side. This is the formal definition, you may use it, of integration by part, and this is informal. So I prefer to use it formal, use the informal definitions to introduce this concept, because according to my research of teaching undergraduate students for 6 years physically, I found that this is the convenient method for them to learn the integration by part and practice until they master it. So the steady state, we compare the left-hand side of equation, this left-hand side of equation 2, and the right-hand side of equation 1. So when we compare that, we let u is equal to x power n, this function, and then we let the v is equal to e power negative x dx. Why do we do that? Why should we not let u is equal to e power negative x? That's the good question. It's simple to integrate e power negative x rather than to integrate x power n. To integrate x power n is a little bit challenging. So we always prefer the simplest way of solving. However, that we have also to use integration by parts, we have to use the system that we call the ILAT. ILAT means we used to let u, because I stand for inverse, L stand for logarithmic, A stand for algebraic, T stand for trigonometric, and E stand for exponential. So you can see that this is algebraic, so algebraic, and then we have algebraic then exponential. So that's why that we let u is equal to x power n. That's a mathematical reason for the lovers of mathematics. So that's why we let u is equal to x power n, and then we let the v is equal to e power negative x dx. So the next step, on the right hand side, we need the function of u and the function of v, and we need also the derivative of u. So in order to have the components of right hand side of equation 2, we have to differentiate u with respect to x. So differentiate u with respect to x, then n becomes the coefficient, and the exponent, the exponent part will become n minus 1. Wonderful. So again, once we let that the v is equal to e power negative x dx, so we can integrate. So why should we integrate? We integrate in order to get the function v, because this is the derivative of the function. So integrate with respect to x. When we integrate, we get v is equal to negative e power negative x. So then we have the u, which is the derivative, so with respect to x is equal to this, and have v. So it means that right now with these two, so remember that when you are solving, it means you are in round, don't round in this way. I round this way in order for you to know the important information that you need in for you to do great things in mathematics. Okay? So now we have those two components, because remember that Remember our journey, our aim, we want to prove. Okay, so if that's the case, you say that that's fine. So then we go for the first stage. So the first stage, we say that consider right hand side of what? Of equation 2. And the right hand side of equation 2 means that we should have what? Remember that A and B, so if we compare that, A is equal to 0, and B, which is upper limit, is equal to infinity. Okay? So then we say that, so we say that now in interval from A to B, so we say that the right hand side, we say that the function uv from A to B minus what? Integral from A to B video, this is equal to what? This is equal to u. What's function of u? U, it is x power n. Then you have what? V. V, it's what? It's negative e or negative x. What is a? 0. What is b? Infinity. Okay? So then we say that this is minus what? Minus integral from 0 to infinity. What is function of what? Of v? V, it is negative e power negative x. Negative e power negative x. Then we multiply with what? Du. What is du? Du, it is x in. Du is equal to n times x minus r. This is n times what? X in n minus 1, then dx. Right? That is. So then, remember on the left hand side of equation 1, this one, we had what? Gamma of n plus 1. This is equal to what? So, here we have to substitute the upper limit and lower limit. Okay, so we have integrated our function respective to x. So it means that here this is negative what? Infinity power n, then e power value of x, which is infinity, and then minus dot. So minus plus what is 0. Because if you substitute x is 0, then you get 0. Okay? So then we have to add, because negative is positive. Add what? So we have integral from 0 to infinity, then you have what? E power negative x, and then x power n minus 1 dx. Okay. So we have here gamma of n plus 1 is equal to what? So we have what? We have negative infinity power m, then e power negative infinity. Okay, plus 0, which is this one. So plus n is common. So take n out of the integral. So this is integral from 0 to infinity. Then you have what? You have x power n minus 1 e minus x, e power x dx. Okay. So again, the fifth state. The fifth state, we say that e power negative infinity. To know what the value of e power negative infinity, take your scientific calculator for function 981, press the alpha, then press the icon of e, then press the power sign, and then put 9 exponent 99. Okay, so it means take alpha e power 1 or 9 exponential 49. Okay, this failed. So e power negative 9 exponent 49. So the answer is what? Is 0. So if our negative infinity, we never define the mathematics, the answer is 0. So if that's the case, we say that the gamma of n plus 1 is equal to what? Is equal to 0 times this one, so 0 plus n, integral from 0 to infinity, over n minus 1, then e for negative x dx. Okay, so simply say that the gamma of n plus 1, this is equal to m, integral from 0 to infinity, then we have x power n minus 1, e for negative x dx. Okay?
I believe that you enjoyed this content.
So suppose that this is equation 3. So we say but gamma of n from the definition of gamma function. Gamma of n is equal to integral from 0 to infinity, then x power n minus 1, e for negative x dx. Okay? So if you check equation 3, then you find that what you have here is all about gamma of n. So the 63 is able to substitute gamma of n in equation 3 above. So if you do that substitution, we have that gamma of n plus 1, this is equal to n times gamma of n. So hence show. So you have succeeded to win your 4 marks. Hence show that gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n times gamma of n. Another piece of information which is very important, this formula is very important, we call it the recurrence formula. Okay, so not before, so gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n gamma of n is called the recurrence. It's called the recurrence formula. It's called the recurrence formula of gamma function. Of gamma function. Recurrence formula of gamma function. Of gamma function. But also it can be this function of gamma of n plus 1 can be expressed in other form. So we can express in this form, can divide by n to both sides. So then we find that the gamma of n plus 1 over n is equal to gamma of n. So later on, we may use this form of gamma, recurrence form of this form, gamma of n plus 1 is equal to m gamma of n. Okay, so this is a very important property you have to remember the rest of your life in beta and gamma function. Or we can also express that gamma of n, this is equal to gamma of n plus 1. Gamma of n plus 1 over n. Over n. So this is a concept. Okay, gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n gamma of n. So gamma of n is equal to gamma of n plus 1 over t over n. So right now, this is the end of session 2. So let me leave the homework. And this is homework 2. Okay, so how might we ask you to prove that gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n factorial. And this is example 2. Example 2. And refer most of university exams will be or final exam. So students are asked you to prove that gamma of n plus 1 is equal to n factorial. And if you do that, you will score 6 marks. It's not a difficult question. Actually, example 1 is a subset of example 2. So it's not difficult. I believe that you can do grades in primary level best to do. But in case that you fail to reach the right answer, because it's the relationship between the integration by part and what integration, just it is improper, it's improper integral, integration by parts, and factorial function. Just the relationship of the three concepts. Please try your level best to show this or to try this question. In case you fail, join me in the next lecture, which will be lecture 3, when I'll teach you about how you can prove this second gamma property or second property of gamma function. But you have also to work for the third basic property of gamma function, because for that ones we don't need the proof. We just need the formula and use it effectively. Okay, so I invite you in the next lecture, which will be lecture 2, and we'll be focusing about what is still focusing on gamma function or the integers, because later on we'll be using these formulas to evaluate gamma function with positive integers, negative integers. So we'll be doing great things together, and later on we'll be going to the gamma functions of fractions, okay, positive fractions and negative fractions. So please don't hesitate to join me. Remember that keep enjoying the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics. Welcome into the next session when I'll be teaching you the beauty of higher engineering mathematics. And also remember to subscribe, like, share this video in order for you to get a notification whenever that we add a new video, because we'll be uploading or adding at least one video in a day in our YouTube channel. So make sure that you should be an active student, and you have to make sure that you get in online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania square bracket OLENJOLAIM. In case you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. And in case again that you have any kinds of the challenge, any kinds of the fear, please communicate with me in the comment section and give me the feedback whether you have understood what I've been teaching you for almost an hour in the comment section. So please give me feedback. Sir, thank you that I've understood, or I didn't understand the particular point. So this is just the fundamental concepts of gamma function. We're gonna learn a lot of concepts, so you have to stay tuned and you have to stay focused so that we can take you in the next level. So may God bless you. This is Sir Olenjolai and Engineer Olenjolai Moko TAYAI Simbo. Simply just this is Sir Olenjolai and Engineer Olenjolai. I love so much engineering. I love so much high engineering mathematics and scientific mathematics. Be an active student. Keep moving. Don't give up. Focus on solving real life problems. Join me in the next session. Keep enjoying these contents. Don't hesitate to visit our online library where you can access engineering mathematics books. For example, engineering mathematics book by Stroud and scientific calculator. So until we meet in the next session, may God bless you and keep you until the next. Again, before I end, that you can offer your free thanksgiving to God through this program. So the telephone number 0759 745331, and your free thanksgiving will be used effectively on the running cost for this program, so that more than 500 videos will be in air, that more than 600 videos or 40 of high engineering and scientific mathematics under TCU and NACTE will be in air and will be taking advantage and benefit all undergraduate students of present and future generation. Stay tuned. This is the National Engineering Mathematics teacher who loves you so much. May God bless you and keep you. Amen.